Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back and thank you all so much for being here. This morning, we have a bunch of exciting stock market news, a ton of notable earnings reports, and we'll see which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. But first, I do have an exciting announcement to make this morning. After 18 months, I will be returning to my original YouTube channel of JT Wealth. Now, don't worry, I will still be hosting the TipRanks pre-market morning show here every morning, but I will also now be creating other stock-related content over on JT Wealth. So make sure you head over there to see some brand new content later today. Now, let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are well into the green this morning. Currently, Dow futures are up 0.56%, S&P 500 futures up 0.86%, and NASDAQ futures up 1.12%. Abiomed is soaring in the pre-market, currently up 50% after Johnson & Johnson agreed to acquire them for $380 per share. That brings the deal to a total value of about $16.6 billion, and it's expected to close before the end of Q1 in 2023. Abiomed makes cardiac pumps, and following the acquisition, they will operate as a standalone business with Johnson & Johnson's medtech business. Analysts had rated the Abiomed stock a strong buy, but it has now surpassed price targets, while the Johnson & Johnson stock is rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 4%. Chinese EV companies NIO, Li Auto, and Xpeng all shared their October delivery numbers, and we saw some varying results. NIO delivered just over 10,000 vehicles in October, which was up 174% year over year, but down 7.5% month over month. It was also just announced that they've had to temporarily pause production at 2 of their plants due to local COVID prevention controls. Li Auto also delivered just over 10,000 vehicles for October. That was up 31% year over year, but was down 13% month over month. Li Auto had launched their new SUV, the Li L8, back on September 30th. And then there was Xpeng. They delivered 5,101 EVs in October. That was down about 50% year over year and 40% month over month. Despite that year over year decline, Xpeng is currently up 5% in the pre-market. EA Games has announced a multi-title collaboration with Marvel for action-adventure video games. They've signed a long-term deal to develop at least 3 new action-adventure games that'll be available for consoles and PC. Each of these games will be their own original story set in the Marvel universe, with the first title in development being a single-player, third-person action-adventure Iron Man game coming out of Motive Studios. The EA stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 19%. And we have some bonus Twitter news. Now, Twitter is a private company following Elon Musk's acquisition, so I don't have any charts to show, but I know many were following it closely. Following the acquisition last week, Elon Musk has now dissolved Twitter's entire board and serves as the new sole director. As Twitter is now a privately owned business, there is no requirement to have a board of directors, so Elon Musk is now their single controlling shareholder. Now moving over to notable earnings reports. In the after hours today, we'll be hearing from Advanced Micro Devices, Airbnb, Devon Energy, Energy Transfer, and EA Games. In the pre-market this morning, we've heard from a ton of companies, starting off with SoFi Technologies. They posted a narrower than expected loss and increased their fiscal revenue outlook. SoFi reported a Q3 loss per share of 9 cents, which was better than analyst estimates. Revenue came in at $424 million, which was up 55% year over year and beat expectations by over $32 million. For the full year of 2022, they're now expecting adjusted net revenue of $1.51 to $1.522 billion versus the consensus of $1.5 billion. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 51%. We've heard from Uber. They did beat on revenue, but widely missed on earnings with a bigger than expected loss. Revenue came in at $8.34 billion. That was up 72% year over year and $220 million ahead of estimates. Their earnings per share came in at a loss of 61 cents, which was a 43-cent miss from estimates. They said that revenue growth significantly outpaced their gross bookings growth due to the acquisition of Transplace by Uber Freight and the change in their business model for UK mobility business. Analysts currently rate the Uber stock a strong buy with an average upside of 76%. Phillips 66 posted earnings that beat by a wide margin. Their earnings per share came in at $6.46, which beat expectations by $1.43. The company generated $3.1 billion of operating cash flow and returned $1.2 billion to shareholders through dividends and share repurchases. Analysts currently rate their stock a strong buy with an average upside of over 13%. BP also beat earnings expectations and announced a $2.5 billion buyback. For their third quarter, they reported earnings per share of $2.59, beating expectations by 64 cents per share. Revenue came in at $55.11 billion, and that was up over 52% year over year, but missed expectations by $5.82 billion. Analysts currently rate the BP stock a hold with an average upside just above 5%. And we heard from Pfizer. They beat on both earnings and revenue and also raised their fiscal outlook. They reported earnings per share of $1.78, which was 38 cents ahead of analyst expectations. Revenue came in at $22.6 billion, which was down about 6% year over year, but $1.5 billion ahead of estimates. Pfizer raised the lower end of their full-year revenue guidance and raised and narrowed their adjusted diluted earnings per share guidance as well. Analysts currently rate their stock a hold with an average upside of nearly 9%. Other honorable mentions this morning include Eli Lilly and Marathon Petroleum, who both beat earnings expectations, and Molson Coors, who came out with mixed results. Now, let's take a look at which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by Abiomed after the news of Johnson & Johnson acquiring them. Trading under the ticker ABMD, their stock is currently up nearly 52%. They're followed by SoFi Technologies under the ticker SoFi, up nearly 13%, and Carvana under CVNA, up 9.7%. Our biggest losers this morning appear to be XPEV Logistics, but that is because they are spinning off their freight brokerage business today into a separate publicly traded company. With the spin-off, the stock is now priced at $32, so the XPO ticker looks to be 38% down. They're followed by Varonis Systems under VRNS, down 33%, and Catalent under CTLT, down nearly 12%. So that is going to be everything for Tuesday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. If you made it to the end of today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and swing by the JT Wealth channel later today for some new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you back here next time.